Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here. Welcome to my 100% full game walkthrough for South of Midnight. In this video series, I'll be taking you through all 14 chapters of the game with the goal of making sure you have the completion by the time we're done. That means I'll be showing off all of the collectibles in the game, including the 103 readable documents, the over 2,000 Floofs, which are a upgrade currency that you'll find as you explore. That includes things called tin flips, which we'll get into once we find some, and also the 9 health filament upgrades. I've decided to tackle this game in the walkthrough format because of the 300 to 400 plus individual collectible locations. Let's not waste time and get started. When selecting your difficulty, you can play on any difficulty. I'll be playing on the middle difficulty called Weaver, just to show off the experience that I believe most players will enjoy. You're also not locked into this difficulty and can switch it at any time, but let's go ahead and enjoy the opening cinematic.
Down in the deep south, folks spin tales about the grand tapestry, an invisible weave holding our world together. They say the grand tapestry is torn by folk sorrows, and these damaged threads give rise to the evil spirits called haints. But every great while, a mighty storm brews, awakening a powerful force. A weaver, gifted with the power to reach into the past and mend folks' deep wounds. With enchanted hooks in hand, this weaver can banish haints and reweave the tapestry's thread, restoring the land so life can bloom again, fresh and new. The last weaver vanished long ago, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Our tale begins deep in the heart of Chickasaw County, in a speck of a town called Prospero, where the last weaver was last seen. That evening, Hazel's mama was running late, driving home through a storm that seemed hell-bent on drowning the whole South. Meanwhile, our Hazel is packing an emergency box, fixing to evacuate quickly. A hurricane brewing on the horizon, and a mighty big one at that.
Man, I miss singing on the bus with these guys. Wish we had another meet. Another medal, too. We was fast as hell. Mom should be back by now. Probably got sucked into work again. Typical. I shouldn't be doing all this packing by myself. But here I
Now we're going to start with Chapter 1, and like in many games, this is going to serve mostly to progress the story and give you a small introduction into some of the basic mechanics of the game. Like in most third-person action-adventure games, you'll walk with the left stick and aim with the right stick. There is an option to invert your controls if you play inverted, like myself, in the options menu. Chapter 1 is generally pretty light on things you can miss. There are 3 readable documents that we'll pick up throughout Chapter 1. Otherwise, we're not worrying about health upgrades or floofs quite yet. Those will start appearing in some of the next chapters. A couple of controls to help you out as well. You can click in the right stick to be guided to your next objective, although this might be turned off during Chapter 1. And you can also use the D-pad to read your objective, look at collectibles, readables, and more lore. Our first objective here is to interact with 3 little mementos that will bring back memories about Hazel's life. And then after we do that, we can interact with the box, which will start another cutscene.
For real.
Whew, it is really picking up out there. You ready to go?
I was over here all alone.
I'm sorry, I know. I swung by the shelter because there was a leak in the roof, and then I had to drive folks back and forth to Jolene's to ride out the storm. Besides, you are young and spry, my little track star. Oh, shoot, we got 5 minutes. Let's go. Did you pack everything?
Mama, I'm grown. This ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the...
Flashlights and batteries. You had the blankets?
Yes, because I have my...
Hurricane checklist. Is that a smiley face?
Hey, Hazel, think fast.
Oh, come on, Mama. We don't have room for my track shoes.
You know how expensive those things are. You best find somewhere to pack them.
And pack them light. Yeah, I know.
What'd you say?
I said, and pack them light.
Pack a bag, then pack it light. Hey, pack your bags, then pack them light.
You think this place will still be here? After?
I called Hurricane Lulu, and she said we good.
Mama, I'm serious. What if it's different this time?
That's not for you to worry about. And now we got 4 minutes. Did you just suck your teeth in me?
Wouldn't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Waste time?
That's not what I meant. It's just... You left me to prep for a hurricane by myself.
Oh, I thought you was grown.
What if we called up Bunny and go over there? You know, the mansion with the hurricane-proof windows?
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
We are going to Jolene's church with everybody else like we always do.
Whatever.
And don't roll your eyes at me.
I wasn't even looking at you.
I made those eyes. I know when they rolling.
I just don't understand why we can't go over there. Bunny still can, even if Daddy's dead. Just tell me why.
Hazel, please. Just, please, go over to Bo's and Mrs. Pearl's. Check on them. They may need help.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Damn it! No. Your great-grandmother made this.
You never told me that.
I shouldn't have to tell you something as important for you not to break it.
Well, maybe if you did, you still have a coffee mug.
This world existed before I brought you into it, Hazel Flood. Remember that next time you go around thinking you know everything. Hazel! Everything I do for you.
Whatever.
Our first little piece of gameplay here is to go outside, and we're going to have to check on Bo and the other neighbor. So Bo is kind of down the street, staying on the same side of the road. Go ahead and knock on that door to start a cutscene. And then after that, I believe the other neighbor is called Miss Pearl. They live directly across the street from you. Go ahead and visit them and start a couple more cutscenes before we start getting into some of the actual platforming and more of the actual gameplay we'll be experiencing through most of the game.
Oh, Hazel! Oh, come on in and grab some punch. It's fucked up out here.
I came here to check on you, but it looks like you're riding this storm out in style.
Oh, yeah. Me and the pups are having a hurricane party. Yep, ain't no storm got me yet. And if things go south, I got my boat. You sure you don't want some punch?
I gotta go check on Mrs. Pearl.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it ain't my dogs pooping on her grass. My dogs are gentle. Yes, you are.
Better make sure Miss Pearl's taking this seriously.
What you doing on my porch in all of this weather, baby?
I'm just checking on you, see if you need anything. You holding up okay?
I'm doing just fine. Been doing this longer than you've been alive. Why don't you come in for a second?
I should probably head back.
Come in, have some gizzards. I'm cooking them all before the power goes out.
You know I can't say no to your cooking.
There's a bee in your bonnet. I can tell.
Just frustrated with Mama. She stayed late at the shelter and left me all alone.
Lacey does enjoy her work. She could stand a moment's rest.
Right? She's all over the place all the time.
She's got a good heart. Just wants everyone to be okay all the time, you know?
Yeah, I know. You need some help in there?
Thanks, hon. I'm almost done. What else is on your mind?
What you know about Bunny?
Why you barking up that tree for?
It's hard not to. Mama never so much as talks about her.
Well, does she ever look in on you?
No, I guess not.
Sometimes people are privy to things that we aren't. Your mama is doing what she thinks is best. Oh, Jesus.
Mama!
Hazel!
We've now taken control of Hazel and are learning a few more of the kind of mechanics. You can press in the left stick to sprint. We also have a jump ability. We keep things pretty basic here in Chapter 1, but you will be learning how to double jump, glide, wall run, and use a bunch of abilities later on in the game as we progress. So it does get a little bit more advanced, but I wouldn't say the platforming generally here is very difficult. Most of the difficulty in this game is going to come in the combat, assuming you have the difficulty here on medium. But once you jump across the log, you should start a little bit of another cutscene where you'll learn a little bit about Hazel's past here as she falls into the water but is able to be picked up by strands and saved. Now, generally going forward, jumping into water, not a good idea. That will technically take you out as the water is toxic. There are also something called brambles, which are these kind of sharp, thorny bushes, and running into those will also damage you and hurt you and potentially drain your life bar. You can just keep running here past some of the next objectives and then squeeze through the crack in front of you to progress.
No. This is some good. Shit! It took out the bridge! Mama, I'm coming! I'm gonna make it! God damn it, I can't! I'm not fast enough. I'm always fast enough. What is it? Bunny. She's gotta help.
Here we're introduced into the climbing mechanics, which we actually don't use that much in the game, but it works like most games. You're going to run up to objects that are painted white. If you jump into them, you'll hang on to them. Jump again in order to climb them. You can also shimmy from left to right. You can jump from ledge to ledge, left to right by shimmying and then jumping. And then this is the only kind of difference from some other games. If you're trying to drop down to a lower level, you're going to press B instead of A. Pressing A will have you jump off of the ledge and drop into the water, which we do not want to do. Go ahead and navigate across the broken bridge using the white railings until we get a little bit further. Once you do touch solid ground, just follow the very linear main story path towards our next kind of few cutscenes. The 3 collectibles in this chapter are available a little bit later on, all pretty close proximity to each other as we kind of round out the chapter. I will have commentary to point them out, and we will do a double check at the end of most chapters to make sure that we have all of the collectibles.
Oh, shit! Help! Please! My mama! We need help! Can anybody hear me? Please! Anybody! place. Got no other options. I'm so scared for Mama. Dad, if you're up there, keep her safe. That can't be real. Hope they'll help me.
I know y'all in there. Excuse me. You can't just show up unannounced.
I have to talk to Bunny.
Well, she is rested. You're gonna have to come back to her.
It can't wait.
What is all this racket?
Hey, Grandma?
Is that Hazel? You've gotten taller. What brought you sopping wet to my doorstep this evening?
I told her you were rested, but she just...
Nonsense, Lily. That's my only grandchild down there. What can we do for you?
The trailer got swept downstream with Mama in it, and I
Swept down in the river in that tin can of a home?
tried to catch her, but I couldn't keep up. There's no one in town. I saw the lights on here, and I came for help.
And we will. In the morning.
But you know people. Can you call the sheriff or something?
You know rescue services are paused in the middle of a hurricane, dear.
You're acting like you don't even care.
Mind your tone, please.
You don't understand. It ain't just about Mama. I'm seeing these things. These strands in the air. I'm scared.
Strands.
Yeah. Yeah. There is something big out there.
Lily,
Yes, ma'am?
clearly my granddaughter is not in her right mind right now. Afraid for her mother and all. Ready a guest room.
Yes, ma'am.
Poor thing. You've been through a lot tonight. Come sit down for a minute. I'll take care of this.
Occasionally during the game, we're put into these kind of dreamlike sequences where we're told to follow the strand. These are either going to be used to advance the story or to unlock a new ability or kind of progress a certain story element specific to the chapter you're playing. Either way, in this one, it's not really something you can fail on. You're just going to kind of follow from kind of point of interest to point of interest until Hazel wakes up.
What are you doing here? Huh. How interesting.
Who are you? What are you doing in my dream?
Hazel? Hazel!
I'm right here! Ma! Can you see me?
Bugs! No! You're not gonna make it! Ah!
Ma! I'm right here! I'm okay! Ma! Ma, wake up! Mom? The trailer. Mama? Oh no. Grandma? Bunny! Lily! We gotta find Mama! Hey, open the door!
It's my only option, I guess.
The strands are still here.
Now, as soon as Hazel wakes up, we're going to start kind of getting towards the end of the chapter. Let's focus on those 3 readable collectibles for Chapter 1. You should find your first one kind of directly in front of you. Because it's the first one, it's going to be the easiest one in the game and fairly obvious. But there's a couple of fairly tricky ones, and I would imagine the vast majority of people would not get all of them on their first playthrough, unless they are extremely vigilant in finding them as they play. From the room you woke up in, you can use the ledges to navigate to the other balcony, and then from that balcony to yet another balcony, and you'll end up in a room. There is a secret switch which opens up the bookcase, but you do not want to do that. Instead, you want to first pick up the 2 readable collectibles in the room. There's going to be one directly on the table to your left, so make sure you grab that. This one is called Bunny's Desk Entry. And the third collectible readable is available on the chair. One thing to note is you can't pick these up when Hazel is talking to herself and there are subtitles on screen. You have to wait for those to clear out in order to grab your next collectible. That becomes a little bit trickier later on in the game. Only once you've grabbed the readables should you try to exit the room by interacting with the picture or the door. There is a very important note I want to make, but I'll make it again later when it's pertinent to what's happening on screen. There are occasions in this game where if you interact with a certain item, it'll actually kick you to the next scene, and you can miss collectibles like this, which is why I warned you not to open up the door before you grab the collectibles. In this case, it's not a big deal, but there will be cases later on in the game where if you walk into a certain area, you'll be locked out of collectibles, and then you'll have to replay the whole level. You can do chapter replays by loading the game and just selecting the chapter you want to replay, and it does have chapter by chapter counters for all the collectibles if you are looking to mop up, but you kind of want to avoid replaying the same levels too many times. Once you do make your way up into the attic, you'll interact with the chest, and here you'll pull out your 2 hooks. These will serve as our weapons throughout the entire game. We're also going to be using them as tools to do platforming and solve some light puzzles. So these are basically our go-tos for the rest of the game. There are a bunch of upgrades that kind of go with them and our ability moveset, but we'll get into that once we get into some of the more complicated chapters, as this one is fairly straightforward. You can then go up onto the roof and walk onto the plank of wood. Click in the right stick if you need the guiding light. The plank of wood will break. You'll drop down into the courtyard, and you'll notice that there is a lot of these kind of dark roots that are growing around the garden. We're going to be calling this stigma going forward, and you can use your hooks to unravel these little stigma pots, and once you do that, it clears the world of that kind of tree rot for that area. So you're going to basically have to be looking for a lot of these. I'll be helping you, obviously, but we're going to be looking for these as we play through the game, and we're going to be destroying them to clear the world, which will help us kind of progress further and further. And there's going to be like fights and combat battles that we're going to be needing to complete to get to a lot of them. So that's kind of the main purpose of the game, is to destroy these stigma objects as often as possible to clear the world, and so on and so on. Once you do that, a cutscene should start, pretty much wrapping up Chapter 1, and then we'll move on to Chapter 2. I do believe you unlock an achievement for completing Chapter 1, but it does unlock at the very beginning of Chapter 2. Chapter 2 will introduce us into combat as well as the collectible type called Floofs, and in that collectible type there's also something called tin flips, but we'll get there when we get there. Thanks for watching, drop a like on the video, and special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. Peace.